Hello, I'm Miranda, and welcome to another Wargamer Girl Battle Report, and today I've got Kill Team. Alright, so I've been meaning to give you guys an awesome battle report for Kill Team for a while, but it's taken me a little while to figure out, where to learn to play the game. On the bright side, I'm at Valhalla, and I've got some pretty cool friends that can hook me up with the learning game. Today, we've got Adam with me. You may have heard of him. Just recently crossed the 100,000 subscriber mark.
It's true. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
With TabletopMinions, and he agreed to teach me how to play Kill Team.
Yeah, I brought like 4 kill teams here to Valhalla, and because I've been working on a bunch of them feverishly, and so I thought, you came to me and said, would you be interested in a bat rep? And as it turns out, I've got lists built, and so we were ready to go.
It was great, yeah. I was borrowing his army, so we took was it Knights Templar?
Black Templar.
Black Templar, Primaris Marines.
Mostly Primaris, a couple of scouts.
That's true, a couple of scouts in there, and versus Necrons.
Necrons, yeah, I was running my Necrons. It's Immortals, a Death Mark, and some regular warriors.
Yeah, and so we had a pretty good mirror match. I think I had 6 models, you had 7.
Yeah, you had a little bit less points than I did, but that gave you an extra CP because you were 10
That's right.
points.
So my list is 88 points, and yours I believe was like 99.
Yeah.
So I got an extra CP, a command point for the beginning of the round, and then the leaders get 2 command points. Also, to note for this game, we weren't playing with any of the additional specialist stratagems. We were just using the rerolls.
We didn't use the stratagems for specialists, races, or for the actual specialists themselves, and we also didn't use the scouting phase.
True. We skipped the scouting phase because who cares? So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We'll go ahead and start round 1. The Black Templar Primaris team includes an Intercessor Sergeant with the Leader Specialist ability, a Scout Gunner with a Sniper Rifle as my Sniper Specialist, a Scout as my Comms Specialist, and a Reaver as my Combat Specialist. The remaining 3 are plain Intercessor Marines. The Necrons have an Immortal as the Leader Specialist, and a Death Mark as a Sniper Specialist, another Immortal as the Comm Specialist, another Immortal as a Veteran Specialist, and 3 Necron Warriors. We are playing the matched play mission Sweep and Clear, and we added an extra objective marker in the middle to make it more interesting. Each player scores 3 victory points for each objective marker that their kill team controls at the end of the battle, and 1 victory point for each model taken out of action. The player with the most victory points wins. Easy, right? I mean, how hard can it be to defeat undead robots that reanimate? We roll for advantage, and my Black Templar team begins deploying first. We take turns deploying our team on the battlefield. The Primaris Marines have 88 points versus the Necrons at 99 points, so the Marines gain an additional command point, putting them at 3 to start. The Necrons have 2 command points. Now we roll again for advantage to see who goes first. This time the Necrons gain the advantage. The Death Mark readies himself for the shooting phase. The leader moves slightly out of cover. The Comms Specialist moves into the factory innards. The Veteran Specialist moves out slightly to get a better view of the field. A Warrior moves into cover on the upper catwalk. Another Warrior on the ground advances and rolls 1 die. He can go an additional 5 inches for a total of a 10-inch move. This puts him on the upper platform. The last Warrior moves to a Promethean pipe along the ground level for cover. The Black Templar now move. The Sniper Specialist readies. An Intercessor moves behind some equipment. The Leader gains a ready token. The Combat Specialist also gains a ready token. A regular Intercessor on the upper platform readies himself, as well as my Comm Specialist. There is no psychic phase, so I move into the shooting phase. The Death Mark has the advantage and targets my Sniper Specialist. It's within a foot, so it hits on a 5-up. 1 shot makes it. The shot wounds and I need a 4-up to save, which I do. The Marines can now take their shots. The sniper is going to take a shot, but first gains a +1 to hit from the comms specialist. The sniper targets a warrior on the catwalk ahead of him. He hits on a 3-up and makes it. It wounds on a 4-up and fails, so I spend a command point to reroll that. This time the wound goes through. The warrior can save on a 3-up and rolls a 2. He spends a command point to reroll that and is able to save. The Reaver targets a warrior behind the Promethean pipe. He needs a 5 to hit and fails. An intercessor on the upper platform targets a warrior across from him with the bolt rifle. It's rapid fire at less than half range, so I get 2 shots. He needs 3 or better to hit, and both shots make it. He wounds on 4s, and 1 goes through. It's a 4-up for the warrior to save, and he takes a wound. Now we roll to see what it does. This ends up being a flesh wound. The leader targets the veteran specialist. He gets 2 rapid-fire shots at 4-up due to cover. 1 shot makes it. I need a 4-up to wound and make it. The Necron needs a 4-up to save and also makes it. The comms specialist targets the wounded Necron warrior on the platform. It's over 12 inches away, so he takes a penalty and needs a 4 to hit. The shot misses. The Necron comm specialist gives a +1 shooting bonus to the leader, who targets an intercessor with his Tesla carbine. He needs a 4 to hit, and both shots make it. He needs a 3 or more to hit me, and 1 goes through. The Marine needs a 3-up to save and makes it. The intercessor targets the Necron veteran with his bolt rifle, needing 4s to hit. Both shots make it and wound on a 4-up. 1 wound goes through. The veteran saves on a 4-up and makes it. A warrior targets the Marine sniper and needs a 6 to hit. He makes it but fails to wound. The Necron veteran specialist targets an intercessor, needing a 4 to hit. Both shots make it and wound on a 3 or higher. Both shots wound. The intercessor can only save on a 5 or higher, and actually saves from both wounds. The Necron comm specialist now targets the intercessor with his rapid-fire Gauss blaster, hitting on 4s or better. Both shots miss. The Necron warrior now targets the same intercessor, needing 4s. Both shots miss. We have no one for the fight phase, since no one is in melee range. We now go to the morale phase, but there are not enough flesh wounds to warrant a nerves test. Alright, well, we finished our first round with a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
How about round 2? We roll for initiative and the Necrons go first. Each player gains 2 command points. The veteran specialist moves to objective marker 1. The comm specialist moves up but maintains cover. The sniper readies himself. A Necron warrior moves into cover near another warrior. The next warrior readies himself. The leader readies himself. The last warrior also readies himself. The Marines now position. The Reaver moves up near a fellow Marine. The sniper readies, and so does the comm specialist. The leader moves up but stays in cover. An intercessor moves up near the Necron veteran. The last intercessor readies. The readied Necron sniper targets my intercessor. The comm specialist gives +1 to the sniper's shot. It's rapid fire 1 at less than half range, needing 3s to hit. 1 shot makes it, and a command point is spent to reroll the missed shot, but it is still a miss. The hit wounds on a 4-up and makes it. The intercessor saves on a 3-up and also makes it. In response, the Marine comm specialist grants +1 to the sniper's shot, and the sniper targets the readied warrior on the catwalk. He needs a 3 to hit and makes it. He needs a 4 to wound, but fails. Using a command point reroll, the wound goes through. The Necron has a 3-up save and makes it. The readied Necron warrior targets the Reaver on the lower level. He needs 4s to hit and misses. The intercessor on the upper level targets the Necron veteran. He has 2 rapid-fire shots hitting on 3s. 1 goes through, and now he needs a 4 to wound. The shot wounds, and the Necron needs a 4-up to save, which he fails. We roll on the damage chart, and the veteran takes a flesh wound. A Necron warrior targets an intercessor Marine. both shots hit and he needs 4s to wound. Neither shot gets past armor. The Marine Comms Specialist targets the Veteran with rapid fire. 1 shot makes it. He needs a 4-up to wound, and it fails. The Necron Leader targets the Intercessor Marine, needing 4s to hit. 1 makes it, and he needs a 3-up to wound, which makes it. The Marine makes his save, however. The Veteran aims at the Intercessor on the other side of the pipe. He needs 4s to hit, and misses. The Marine Leader targets the Necron Comms Specialist, needing 4s. 1 hits, and now we need a 4 to wound, which fails. A warrior on the upper catwalk targets the Intercessor on the ground. There is no cover, but he still needs 4s or better because of the flesh wound. 1 shot hits. He needs 4s to wound and makes it. The Marine needs a 4 to save, and makes it. The Intercessor targets the Necron Comm Specialist with his bolt rifle, needing 4s to hit. 1 hits, now needing a 4 to wound, which makes it. The Necron needs a 4 to save, and also makes it. The Necron Comm Specialist returns fire on the Intercessor, needing 4s, but misses. The Reaver targets a warrior with his heavy bolt pistol, needing a 4, but misses. There is no fight phase since no one is in melee. The morale phase is skipped because there are not enough wounds to warrant nerves tests.
Well, so that was the round 2. Yeah, nothing happened.
Not much.
Round 3.
We roll for advantage, and this time the Marines go first. Both players gain 2 command points. The Reaver is going to charge the Veteran. The Veteran gets 2 Overwatch shots, needing 6s. 1 makes it and needs a 3 to wound, which also makes it. The Marine saves on a 5 and makes it. We now roll to see how far the Reaver charges. At first he is short, so a command point is spent to reroll the 1. It's enough to allow the Marine to make it within 1 inch of the Veteran. The Marine Leader moves to Objective Marker 3. The Sniper Specialist and Comm Specialist readies. An Intercessor moves toward a Necron Warrior. The last Intercessor also readies. The Necron Leader advances and rolls a 5, giving him a total movement of 10. He makes his way around the side of the board. The Necron Sniper readies. The Veteran is stuck in combat. A Necron Warrior moves away from the Intercessor to other cover. The 2 warriors on the catwalk ready themselves. The Necron Comm Specialist also readies. We now start the shooting phase. The Marine Comm Specialist gives a +1 bonus to the Sniper, who targets the Necron Sniper. He needs a 3 to hit with the heavy weapon. He misses at first, and a command point is spent to reroll. This time the shot makes it. It wounds on a 4-up, and this time rolls a 6, which inflicts a mortal wound in addition to normal damage. First, we make an injury roll, which actually takes the Sniper out of action. The Comm Specialist targets the Marine Leader. He needs 4s to hit, and at first misses, but spends a command point to reroll 1 die. He now rolls a 6, which counts as 3 hits for this weapon. He needs 3s to wound, and 1 wound goes through. The Marine needs a 3 to save, and takes a wound. The Primaris each have 2 wounds and ignore the effects of losing their first wound. An Intercessor targets a readied Necron Warrior at the catwalk. He needs 4s to hit, and 1 goes through. He needs a 4 to wound, and fails. The Necron Warrior targets the Intercessor on the upper platform, needing a 5 to hit, and makes it. He needs a 4 to wound, and makes that also. The Marine saves on a 4-up, and makes it. The Marine Comm Specialist targets the wounded Necron on the platform. He needs a 5 to make it, and misses. The wounded Necron Warrior targets the Primaris. He needs a 6 to hit, and misses. The Intercessor on the lower level targets the Warrior in cover ahead. He gets 2 shots needing 4s, and misses. The Necron Warrior returns fire, also needing 4s to hit, but misses. The Marine Leader targets the Necron Comm Specialist in cover. He needs 4s to hit. 1 makes it, and he needs 4s to wound. The wound goes through, and the Necron needs a 4-up to save, and makes it. We now enter the fight phase, and the Reaver has 4 attacks needing 3 or better to hit. 2 hits make it. He needs 4s to wound, and both make it. The Necron needs 3s to save and fails 1. We roll on the injury chart and get a 6, which would trigger the reanimation protocol. I spend a command point to reroll and instead take him out of action.
So far I've learned that Primaris and Necrons are very resilient. But I still got your sniper.
It's true.
Alright, let's go into round 4.
We roll for advantage and the Marines go first. Both players gain 2 command points. The Marine Reaver declares a charge on the Necron Comm Specialist. This triggers Overwatch, needing 6s. Both miss, and we now roll to see if the Marine can get close enough, and he will easily make it. The Intercessor on the upper platform moves to get eyes on the Necron leader. The Marine leader moves closer to the Necron leader. The Marine Sniper and Comm Specialist ready. The last Intercessor readies as well. The Necron leader advances and at first only gains 1 inch of movement. He spends a command point to reroll and now gains 5 inches of movement. He uses it to bravely run away and sit on Objective 2. A Necron warrior on Objective 5 readies himself. The Necron warriors on the upper catwalk also ready themselves. We start the shooting phase, and the Marine Comm Specialist gives a +1 bonus to the sniper. The sniper targets the warrior on the catwalk, needing a 3, which misses. A command point is spent to reroll, but he still misses. The Necron warrior on the ground fires on the Intercessor Marine, needing 4s. One shot makes it and wounds on a 4, which also makes it. The Marine saves on a 4-up and fails. He takes a wound. The Scout Marine targets a warrior on the catwalk, getting 1 shot and needing a 5. He makes it and wounds on a 4, but fails. A warrior on the platform targets the Marine Comm Specialist. He misses. The Intercessor Marine on the ground fires at the warrior on Objective 5. He needs 4s to hit, and both miss. The last warrior targets the Marine leader. He needs a 4 to hit and misses. A command point is used to re-roll, and now he hits, but fails to wound. The Marine leader targets the warrior on Objective 5. He misses. The Necron leader charges an Intercessor Marine, needing 5s, and misses. The last Intercessor Marine targets a warrior. He gets 1 shot, needing a 5, and misses. We go into the fight phase, and the Reaver gets 4 attacks on the Comm Specialist. He needs 3s to hit, and all of them make it. He needs 4s to wound, and the Necron Immortal takes 3 wounds. He needs 3s to save. 1 wound goes through. We roll on the damage chart, and the Immortal is taken out of action. We end the round and roll to see if the game continues, but it ends here. The Marines have 2 objectives and put 3 models out of action. The Necrons have 2 objectives and have not put any Marines out of action. This leaves the score at 9 for Marines versus 6 for Necrons.
Okay, so we just finished up our game of Kill Team. 88 points versus how many points in Necrons?
The Necrons were something like 97, I think.
Okay,
Or
yeah.
No, a little bit more, 99, I think.
Oh, very
Yeah,
close.
that's
Okay.
it, yeah.
So it was a learning game. So we just kept it all at the level 1 CP level. We didn't do any special abilities and stuff, which may have
Yeah, we just pretty much stuck with the stratagem that allows you to re-roll. That's pretty much about it.
Yeah. Overall, pretty ineffectual battle. I don't think the Primaris Marines or the Necrons really wanted to fight each other.
I think they weren't feeling it.
They were kind of just wanting to go home, or I don't know.
Yeah.
We spent the first 3 rounds pretty solidly, not
Either
barely
missing
doing anything.
or saving, basically, and it was... I took a couple of wounds. Eventually, you took a couple.
Yeah, eventually there were some wounds. Eventually the Necrons started getting worn down. It does have a good rhythm to it. I was enjoying kind of getting the hang of moving all your troops. You position them where you want to go, and then you can counter, and then the advantage rolls, I should say.
Yeah, I mean it's a very different game for Games Workshop because it's unlike many of their games where it's like I do all my stuff and then it's your turn and you do all your stuff. It's more of I move all my stuff if I want initiative, aka advantage or whatever, and then you move all your people, and then it's I shoot, you shoot, I shoot, you shoot, like one person at a time, which I think allows us to really get the the reactions, but the strategy, change things on the fly. I think it works nicer, and it keeps. Did you feel engaged most of the time?
I did.
Yeah,
I felt
think that's one of the big
definitely
benefits.
compelled to put the Marines out there. I'm like, well, you got 2 hitboxes. Like, you should be able to survive some stuff. And I was really excited to get into some combat because normally I play Imperial Guard and all they do is run the way. So the Primaris, the Reaver, I believe, with his combat knife was pretty effective. He took out 2 models, I believe.
Yeah. Especially with because of the combat knife gets an extra attack, and then because of him being the combat specialist, that was
another
basically 4. So yeah.
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah.
So, I liked the variety that it added, but it is interesting. I don't think there are too many other games. I haven't played another skirmish game where you do all the movement and then you have the back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting because it really plans out your turn, and I think it actually makes it go faster.
Yeah, I think that's the case. I think that because there's a lot of skirmish games where basically it's time to activate your model, then you move and shoot, or you shoot and move, or whatever, and then it's either your opponent's turn to activate or something like that. Going this way, there's times when I almost wish the movement was alternating as opposed to me moving all yours and then you moving all yours, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But I think it's still, I don't know, it works pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just designed to be a fairly casual game. At least in all of the games I've actually had, they've all been just the level 1 models.
If you're just playing a normal matched play game and you just play with the specialist at level 1, it's not until you get into chains of games, into campaign play, at which point you then can level up your specialists, and then you can pick from different. You start with just the one kind of specialism, and then you have a choice to go either this way or that way with each one, and then it kind of makes like a tree, like in a video game, like with skill trees.
Specialism.
So that it's evidently really a word.
I don't believe it.
All right, well, talk to the English.
I will. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that really kind of came up with it. I was just surprised how durable they were. I guess Necrons and the Primaris Marines actually they seem to have a lot in common. They were the same toughness. They had the same saves.
Generally, yeah.
Their guns were pretty similar as well.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of armor piercing going on.
Yeah.
It was close. It was fun. I was really scared that those reanimation protocols were going to go off. Fortunately, you can CP that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Kill Team was a lot of fun. Any other closing thoughts on the game, you think?
No, I mean, it's a game for me, and I think for a lot of people that allows them to, it's like a buffet style, where you can play a little bit of Necrons, or a little bit of, Death Guard, or a little bit of Tyranids, as opposed to having to build an entire list. I mean, that's kind of the point of skirmish in general, but the fact that it's related to the very popular Warhammer 40,000 IP makes it so that you can try things out you've always wanted to try but didn't want to start a whole army for.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you can have, and if you already play 40k, those models carry over. The space, the amount of space it takes up is way smaller.
Yeah.
You don't need a ton of terrain, which is definitely a bit of a 40k problem. I remember Shadow War Armageddon had enormous amounts of terrain that are required on a 4x4 board.
Yeah.
So what was it, like 22 by 30?
22 by 30, yeah.
Yeah, so that just
play
fits in a
larger
lot
if
of
you
places.
want, but yeah, the main
That's
board
true.
that comes with the game is 22 by 30, yeah.
But that was perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Perfectly
yeah.
fun. At
Worked
that
out
level, just a casual game, just enjoy it and hang out and chat while you play. It's what wargaming is about
Yeah.
to me. So, all right, well, Adam, thank you for teaching me how to play this game.
Absolutely. No, it's a lot of fun, and I'm always trying to get more people into wargaming, and I mean, you're obviously already in wargaming, but now
You
with
have
the
this
two
whole
of us,
tool for connecting people and everything.
That's true, yeah. That's true as well. But I think that, people being able to see this who maybe haven't thought about 40k before and they want to go that way, they can.
That is true. Check out some Kill Team and let me know what you thought of our game in the comments, who you were rooting for. And we'll just see you guys next time.